Hello everyone, I'm going to show you my calculator tool today. Originally that was just for me, because all of the tool building I needed to do a lot of calculations, so I made this tool to support me. But it grew and grew, and so I'm sharing it with the community right now. So let's walk over it. So in the first one you can calculate formats. For example, I know my format width should be 1920. And I know my aspect ratio should be 2.035. So I just insert that here, and the calculator gives me the corresponding height of the format. So I don't have to remember it all the time. If you know the height and you want to know the width, you use the next line and put in the height, and it's going to calculate the width for you. If you want overscan in your format, for example, in Maya, you need to include the overscan already to render it properly. So you can place how much overscan you want, and the next line here gives you this plus the overscan already. So in Maya, this would be my output format, and then in Nuke, I reformat it down to this here. You can modify the overscan and it will update. And then lastly, we have the aspect ratio. So you can input width and height, and it will give you the aspect ratio. Here on top, you can modify the aspect ratios. Yeah? So I made some pre-built ones that you can just select, and the formats are going to calculate based on that. But if you have any weird aspect ratio, you can go to custom and then use the slider to put in any aspect ratio you want. So let's go back. And lastly, if you have anamorph formats which use non-square pixel aspects, you can enable that. By default, the pixel aspect is set to 2:1. So all these formats here will now adapt their height to adapt that anamorphic pixel ratio. And here you can, of course, modify the pixel aspect ratio if you want to. So then in the next tab, we have sensor calculations. So I had this problem with FSpy that I had images that, I didn't know the aspect ratio. So I calculated that, and FSpy couldn't give me proper results because the sensor area was not right. So I made this here. So I can input the width of the image and the width of the sensor, and it gives me the corresponding sensor height, or the other way around. So yeah, this made FSpy work just fine. Then we have shutter calculations. So here you insert your frame rate, and then the shutter, and it gives you the shutter angle, or if you have the shutter angle, it can give you the shutter. So for Nuke, I find that very helpful because many people don't film with shutter angle and film with shutter speed. So I know exactly what to put my shutter angle in Nuke on to get the proper motion blur. Next tab, we have basic calculations. It's very simple, and you might ask yourself why. But of course, in Nuke, any node can calculate. So if I type in here 10 plus 2, it will calculate 12. But I don't see my original numbers that I put in. So I made this. So my numbers stay, but I get the result anyways, and I can see what my original numbers were to calculate with. So there was more of like, I played around and found it funny to build that. So the last ones are interesting. So this is exponential. Yeah. So that means if I put a 3 and then a 2, like the first number is, I'm not that good in math. so what happens is, this is the square, and I could put in a 3 and then it would calculate that. So yeah, I hope you get it. And then you have root calculations. So the second root of 16 is 4, the third root is uneven, but that works. And then we have percent. That's very simple. So you have 3 lines to calculate every single aspect of it. So here you put the total amount of things you know, then the percentage, and it gives you the value, or the other way around. So So here you could, based from a value and a percentage, know what the entirety is. Yeah, I think you know how percent works. And then lastly, we have distance calculations. So if you have 2 points in 2D space and you insert them here, this slider gives you the distance between them. That also works with 3D points. So if you have 2D points, it's really just x and y, and z is 0. It doesn't make any difference. So you can put 3D data in here and it will give you the distance of it. Yeah, I hope that can help you somehow. Have fun with it and tell me if there's any bugs. Have a nice day.